Time to get wound up there. Why did you join?
Just wanted to fly an aircraft. Wanted to be an Air Force airman. I knew the war was coming.
And when did you join?
December 21st, 1940.
A whole year early.
I knew the war was coming. I wanted to be in there and have my training and just be ahead of everybody else when they started drafting for the battle. I wanted to get to pick what I wanted to do.
Right. And did you get to do that?
Yeah. I wanted to get my own, what I wanted to do, and I got it.
You chose gun.
Yeah. I went to hunting school, church school.
How'd you choose flying? Anything influence you? Because how old were you, by the way, when you joined?
21.
21. Okay.
When I was going to high school, they had a course going on over here in Johnson City. The instructor was Stanley Gilbert. And he was teaching all about airplanes, how they were made, constructed, engines, how they fly. And I took that course. I was about my junior and senior year in high school. And I ride the bus to Johnson City, and we have the classes there at San Antonio High School.
The old one?
Old San Antonio High School. Over 3 hours, we started 7 o'clock in the morning, 7 to 10. If I didn't have any money to ride the bus, I'd hitchhike back home to Unicoi sometime 12, 1 o'clock at night. I'd get up and go to school the next day. Come right back over here. Me and another boy took that course myself. And he finished up. He went in the Navy. Last time I heard he flew airlines for years. Airline pilot. I just then read a lot about Billy Mitchell, World War I, flying aircraft, the old Jenny. I just liked it.
Okay. So as a kid, you were interested in them?
Yeah.
And what was your early training? Oh, go ahead.
In the summertime, I would go down to Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia. Take 30 days of citizens military training. CMTT. That was a cavalry, 6th Cavalry, Fort Oglethorpe.
Horse cavalry?
Horse cavalry. And I said, when I get through school, to finish this course, I'm going to be in an airplane. I'm not riding that old horse.
How old were you when you went down to Fort Oglethorpe?
Oh, I was 17, 18, 19, I was there. There was no part of that horse.
I can imagine.
That's something. It's good training down there, 30 days in summertime. Real good. They really kept you busy. But you ride those horses all the way out there till noontime, and you come back in, you have to walk them till they cool off, scrub them down, clean them up, clean the saddles up, and those old 6th Cavalry Red Army troops, they were rough on you. It was good training, real good. I enjoyed it. I said, no horse for me. What good those horses going to do against some giant bank?
Well, what was your early training like? Tennessean training you had?
Just right there, the crew when I first went in January. '41. Then went to Memphis. May, June, July. Came back to 1941.
What were you doing there?
We want to be a team.
And you were actually on submarine patrol.
Submarine patrol. Off the coast of Newfoundland.
Did you ever see any?
One time. But it was mostly, I'll tell you what, it was mostly for it was keeping check on the Brazilian aircraft surface vessels. Because you actually goes about Churchill on that airplane.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
What was your job on that aircraft?
just a weird turret gun. We're going to have more heavy turret on this thing. That's the center. Then it was the B-18. Right in the center there.
Did you have training before that for gunnery or just on the job training?
Just on the job.
Did you go to gunnery school after that?
Yeah.
Where'd you have gunnery school?
Deal field instructors came in there and put up a screen right now.
At Florida?
Yeah.
How long do you think that lasts?
6 weeks.
What sort of things they had you do for gunnery school?
Well, take machine guns apart, put them back, learn how to sight, rig them post sight. Then we had a K3 and a K4 sight on B-17 on the top and all too. Then we had a factory representative came down there. He gave us a month to train on turrets. We had to take the turret completely apart, put it on the table, put it back, and make it work.
It's your ball turret?
Long turret and then the top turret. Factory. Technical.
Mm-hmm. What about actual target practice?
Oh yeah, we go out and fly to Nevada, to Mullet Key. Mullet Key, just 10, 15 miles off the coast of Tampa. We have gunnery practice down there, targets in the ocean, and of course we have about 100-pound practice bombs down there.
Where were you in Pearl Harbor?
And McDill.
Deal.
Mm-hmm. Coming out of mess hall. On the radio. We all stood around the back that day and listened to those that speak. Boy, I'll tell you, things really started humming after that.
What happened to y'all then?
Well, they started. I guess the biggest thing we noticed the difference was that everybody's been through their training. They started activating crews, ground crews, black crews. And the first bombing that was activated down there was a 97 42. We were all in the 29th bomb. That was the 52nd bomb squad.
57 bomb squad.
52nd.
Second.
Then we activated the 91st. I believe I was declared May of 42. And we went from there to Walla Walla, Washington Air Force Base in the summer of 42.
Thinking you might go against the Japanese, I imagine.
We got our B-17s out there.
You hadn't had them before then?
Yeah, 29th group. We picked up our B-17s at Walla Walla. Yeah, 29th group.
What did you have when you were 29th? You had B-17? Mm-hmm. Just when you picked up your new ones, I guess B-17F.
Yeah.
You've been flying at ease, I imagine.
Well, we had got our 17s up in Walla Walla and had training there. Went from there to Bangor, Maine. Dow Field. Geiger Field. Boys and Guys. We stayed there, I guess, probably 3 weeks. Flew from there to Dow Field, Bangor, Maine. September 42. This was when we were national twice. I didn't go to national. Long navigation rights, you know. Thank you. Detroit.
Did you ever go over Unicoi County?
We got in.
You flew over North Atlantic route, landed in Greenland, I imagine.
And in Preston, Scotland.
What did you think about that flight over?
That was a long trip. It sure was. It was about 9 or 10 hours. It was a long ride.
And you sometimes lost aircraft on the way there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, buddy. You sure did.
How'd you feel about that?
We didn't think about it. There you go. Good boss. We never did say it. They're good crew. Their navigation was pretty good. Boats down the ocean, now you know, we pick up boats. So, boats down the ocean. Then the RAF and all that.
What did you think of the B-17?
Real good. Real good. Well made, sturdy. Could really take battle. Just good. We got the passing going there. About 12 miles. We really started training. Boy, we flew a lot of flights around England. At high altitude, 27, 30,000 feet. Flying low to flying formation. And we had a lot of the 97th and 92nd group people over there. They fly with us. And we do a lot of gunnery flying to it. Lots of it. And the main thing with the 97 told us to keep our gun recoiling part was dry, no oil on it. Bone dry. Or you put on those things that freeze up and just stop. Clean them every day. Clean the receiver every day. After every mission, take that ammunition out, dry it off. Clean it. Clean the inside again with ammunition. You didn't want any moisture in it. I know that. No rust.
How many different aspects of the B-17 were you checked out on? For example,
turrets, bomb racks, the bombs, putting the fuse in the bomb, nose and tail, bomb rack system, opening the bomb bay door. See, after I came back to the flying again, after I froze my hands, I went up my nose, it was running to these fingers would feel up this and open the bomb bay door. The lead ship, we had one bombardier. So we we'd all moved over his bomb bay door, he opened ours. He dropped his bomb, but we salvaged ours.
So you could do that. You could go with the bombardier.
Yeah.
Okay. I wondered about that. And I thought, why waste all those bombardiers if you've got one lead? Probably have 2 or 3 backup, don't you?
But there's always a bombardier. He was in there, so we dropped the bomb too. But this had one lead bombardier, one lead navigator. Then I got checked out fairly well on the instrument, whole instrument panel of 17. Knew all the instruments. I could start the engine, run them up, use what you check for, max drop, pressure, kilometer temperature, how to transfer the fuel. Flight engineer, I think, pretty well checked down there. I went there with 2 lots of filter. Everyone I get checked to go to, they have a ground school or want volunteers to ground school, do this, do that. I'll tell you.
Well, what were your duties as a ball turret guy?
Yeah. Same as the top, regular dinner, ball turret.
Were you responsible for the machine gun?
Oh, yeah, you're responsible. You got to keep it clean. Yeah. Then I went through that school, and I knew that turret real well. And then one into the other. I just like to fly down there. You pick up fighters coming in, usually 12 or 1 o'clock high, you know. You'd always turn you see them coming, bombardiers say they're coming at 12 o'clock high or low, but you don't always turn your chest to the rear like that. So you can pick them up firing out going to the rear. They come in at 12 o'clock level, you couldn't fire them. They hit the props, you know, the turret mechanism, they cut it out, you couldn't fire it. The props, and you'd always turn to the rear and pick them up. You could get a better shot at it coming in straight.
That ball turret, could it be raised up into the aircraft?
No, it was
Stationary. There were some aircraft that were like that one.
B-24.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You wanted to be
B-24.
That was stationary.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't stay in the ball turret during landing, would you?
Not landing and takeoff.
Okay. So you got in there once you were airborne.
And you just turn your turret going straight down. Straight down like that. And there's one door up there. Don't have a door. Just sit down and then you have a little steel seat that you sit on. The gun sight right in front of you. You blow that hatch behind you and block it there.
What about an escape hatch down here? Did you have anything on the ball turret that you could escape from?
Mm-hmm.
Without going to the aircraft?
No, you had to turn that thing down. Unlatch it, get out, put your chute. We had a chest type chute. Mm-hmm. We'd keep your chutes over there to the right of it. And you keep it tied down with a little string. Usually a nylon cord with a parachute. And you'd have it tied with quick release knot. You know, you had to get to that thing, put it on. But you had to get to the waist position and go out the bomb bay door. Best place to go out, just back up and jump out the bomb bay door.
The bomb bay is here. Here's the tail. Yeah. And how long did it take you? I know you tested this in training. How long did it take you to get from the ball turret to the bomb bay door?
Oh, not very long, but we practiced that. Getting out of that thing and going, hooking that chute on, and get that bomb bay in. Maybe a minute. It wasn't long, quicker. Well,
So more danger the quicker you could do it.
Because they practiced it. We would practice that up in the air. The bomb, the pilot, real blind. He would put it in the dive on the cat and pull it up. And you'd be surprised how you can let it move. That thing will turn or bank or go into the dive like this. You'd be surprised you can let it move, walk, or do anything.
What's the most dangerous position in the aircraft, would you say?
To get out, to bail out,
To bail out.
nose.
The nose. You had to come out how?
There's right here on the side. No, little door there. You go in, you know that little door right
To
there.
the bottom.
Yeah. Let me get this 17 out here. If you had to jump out of that thing, you jump forward. Yeah, because that's number 3 property right there.
Yeah.
We had a little bitty, that's where we get in the nose of the aircraft. There's a little door right here. You jump out that door there. You jump out, boy, you want to make sure you're going straight down.
Yeah.
Because see that propeller there going around. You know, we've had a lot of crew members over there early in the morning before daylight. This, say, 30 or 40 of these things running up out there early in the morning. Couldn't hear all from smoke nose. He's been up in there. No, that's good. But you have to jump out right there.
And be careful.
You don't go straight down. You can't hit that prop there.
Now, what was, in terms of overall safety, what was the most dangerous position, do you think?
I'd say the navigator along there. If they went out that way, but the time you got through, crawl up through here, up through behind the engineer, that crawl through that turret there, the engineer, that top turret there, there's 2 metal pieces there. They turn around like that. And you just didn't have hardly too much room to get through there and go out the bomb bay doors. The bomb bay, pull a handle out. And they pull a handle up there. They just flop open. Still, when they flopped open, they just blowing them in. Time you think of that, that's the place.
Yeah, you don't have that kind of time, do you?
You don't have that time, and that thing's in the back like that and going down, and all that gravity against you. Well, sure, you don't have anything. But old Quinlan, they was running, you got a little hatch back there, they door back there, you just pull a handle back there, and the door fly off, you just got a back time shoot on back there, boy, you just bail out. You get out of there and hurry. Same way with the waist screen. Jump out the turret, get down to there, or you could, there's a little door, entrance door back on the side, you can go out of there, door stop, you're out, you're gone. Then you go if you want to, you had time to radio operator right here, you had 150 there. Go out through there.
Now, describe your life in England, Bassinville. Boring, exciting.
No, we've had a pretty good time. We enjoyed ourselves. We had nice barracks. Big barracks and RAF had the station. This is the whole RAF station. They left there and gave it to us. We first went into Kimbo, and the runways wouldn't hold us. That was a fighter base. The runways wouldn't hold our 17. So later, we just got together with somebody that belonged to me and London. We went over to Bassinville. Nice hangars there. nice brick mess hall, canteen, good barracks, warm.
When you weren't flying, what did you do there?
Well, we was in ground school, all types of ground school, aircraft identification. We had one building down there, we had a gunnery school in there. The boys had some experience. In 97, they came over there and taught us how to fire. The fighters coming in, what they think was attack 12 o'clock high, 12 o'clock level. And mainly the waist covers here, both sides. Say you had a fighter coming in here, you needed what we called a rad. One rad, just ring and post sights, ring sight there across there, right out in front of them, where posting up like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And one rad, and two rads, and three rads. About all you could get on what we call a rad. Just that ring and post sight coming down. Most of the time they would come in like this, that's go down there.
That's protection, I guess, for them.
They was under him. He did pretty good back there. He didn't have much trouble. Most of his attacks were right straight in, coming in on it.
What sort of things you do for fun in basketball?
We played. We had a lot of softball, baseball teams, volleyball. We played different squadrons there, 322nd, 3rd, 4th, 1st squadron. Played horseshoes. Well, most all of us got us a bicycle. We would go bicycle around the countryside on the flying, but we had no way to run all the time. We knew about things to go out.
Where'd you go if you got a weekend pass?
We could go to Cambridge every night. We had Liberty Run to Cambridge every night. GI truck down there, 12 miles. Cambridge, big university there.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got some boys wounded. They were all sent to Oxford Hospital. They give us a truck, bunch of us go down and see our buddies. Then we get usually 1 3-day pass a month to go run.
Anything exciting ever happened in London?
Oh, we saw a lot of good movies over there. Stage shows.
A little early for these V weapons, what?
They started coming in summer of 44. You could hear them coming, boys. You could hear them coming. As long as they could hear them, you were okay. But man, seems that motor stopped on that thing, boy. It didn't come right here. So I don't know those dogs. But if you want to hear something, you want to be in London during the day or at nighttime and hear those German aircraft coming over and hear those thousands of enemy aircraft coming off. They just shake the ground. Now that is really something. Hear all those thousands of enemy aircraft guns going on. Once those searchlights pick up those German bombers, well, a lot of historical things. So, real good.
What was a typical pre-flight day like? Get up in the morning for a mission. What time would you usually get up?
We usually get up about, so we were going to have 8 o'clock takeoff. We'd get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Boy, from operations, and usually everybody slept what barracks you in, what bed, and everything. They'd wake us up, and we'd walk up to the mess hall and have breakfast.
What was breakfast like?
Oh, usually coffee, cereal, powdered eggs.
Yeah. Every count I've read mentions a powdered egg.
Powdered eggs. Yeah. Hot cakes once in a while. boys, we go out in the country and we take cigarettes out there and we swap cigarettes, cigars, his legs.
Mm-hmm.
We bring them back. You'd have to hide them in the barracks, you know. While you were on a mission, these other crews there in the barracks, they would go through your clothes, searching for eggs.
Now, before you were commissioned, when you were staff sergeant, did you get a briefing in the morning before the mission?
Yeah, we'd go to mess hall and eat breakfast, then we'd go to the briefing room. All the crews in there.
Would this be every member of the crew, or just the gunners? Or
All crewmen. Plus intelligence staff, wing commander, squadron commander, population. And intelligence, they get up and tell you where you were going. To go in. They'd pull that curtain open, and from our base, there'd be a little red string drawn from there. St. was there, a little end of breast. And a number of hours you take to get there. Fighter interception expected 100 FW1 90s or 109s, where they expect to hit you. How the flak would be real heavy.
were they accurate, these predictions?
Yeah, real good. Because every time that we were on a mission like that, and we pick up flak, we caught that flak for a lot. We caught that flak on this navigation officer. And they'd pinpoint that flak so they could brief you. The next time, stay away from that area because this flak picked up on so-and-so mission line. And they always talk about Spitfire escort, pick us up and take us to the French coast and leave us. And we come back. The Germans would always make fighter patches through that flak so it was there. They want to protect themselves. We got 500-pound bombs, 1,000 to 2,000-pound bombs. And get those pins out. You can watch them here. They bounce off 18 feet thick concrete.
What was your first mission like? That was to Lille.
That was Marston Yard there.
Can you describe how you felt on that first one, what you saw, just any remembrance you had?
Yeah, I remember the fighters. I was flying top turret that day. I remember the fighters. There's about 12 of them. I think we had about probably 50 B-17s that day. And there was 12 German fighters made their attacks. 12 o'clock time coming right out of the sun. Coming right down out of the sun. Because I know there's one out there. He's really coming towards my formation. And all top turrets were after him. All these 350 calibers were better. They shot the first one. They came in. They got him.
Who got him?
I don't know. There's so many B-17s in the formation. You really couldn't tell who got it. Boy, he just blew up right in front of us.
Can you remember how you felt on that mission? Was it awe or fear?
Yeah, you were scared. You were shaky. You were scared. Your lips cold. But just as soon as that flak started coming up and the fighters started coming in, you were busy. You didn't have to. You didn't get scared then. Didn't bother you a bit.
What about the flight over? That was probably the worst time I mentioned.
Yeah.
Right.
Just sitting there waiting till the flak started coming up and the fighters started coming in.
What did you have to do on the way out? So you take off from Bassingbourn. From the time you take off to the time the Spitfires leave you. What?
Oh, as soon as we got up and got in formation, everybody went to gun position, turrets. We get to English Channel where we test fire guns, make sure it's out. Just one burst, make sure it's all right.
How much ammunition did you have? How long could the gun fire, for example?
You just short bursts. If you shoot big long bursts, they jam it up. They just jam up. Links couldn't get through that little ejector up there. Just couldn't, little link couldn't get down through that. We just shoot real short bursts out. But you get excited and the fighters coming in, you hold that trigger down. Keep shooting. Get red hot, man. They get red hot. Barrels hot. Well, down on the way back, had some fighters with us. We got the Middle English Channel, no fighters around. We come back and sit in the radio. Except Taylor, he always stayed back here. But I'd get out. Well, we always down here, sports come up and he'd get out. We come up on the radio out there. It was warm up there. That was a big marksman yard, railroad yard, Leo.
What was your most memorable mission over France? The thing you remember the most about any? If you can add several missions if you want.
I'd say we always usually went out on a Wednesday and Sunday noon to Lower End and St. Missouri. I'd say the St. Missouri and Lower End, either one of those were rough missions, but those Germans would really come in out.
That's where the Abbeville kids were, I guess you.
They come, hey, Abbeville right outside of Prairie, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They would know our, usually we wasn't too far coming back from St. Missouri. The Abbeville kids, they come down to, they usually come out of Old Norman. Coming back, rest. So the closest place to land back in England on the coast there was St. About Lower St.
How could you tell the Abbeville kids?
Yellow nose.
Yeah, how far away did they have to be before you noticed it?
They'd always come in three at a time. They'd come in three at a time. Three here, right behind, three more. Stacked up. They were cream of the roof part.
Now, from your position in the ball turret, I'm sure you flew there many times. You could see the bombs actually hit, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
You're in the best position.
Yeah, boy, you could really see them hit.
Did you take time to watch them? Did you have time?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, you'd have time to watch them. Bombs away. They would attack right through their own clack at St. Louis. They come right through there. Yeah, you could watch those bombs hit the ocean down there, around those pins, bounce off.
Pretty accurate bombing?
Yeah, real good.
Did you ever see any bombs go astray?
Oh, yeah.
They say in civilian areas.
Yeah, see,
What instructions did they give you about that? Do you remember hearing any specific?
No, we tried not to. We tried mostly, if at all possible, for military targets. They didn't.
I say that because I know that in some accounts, it was mentioned that they were specifically told, as you say, to avoid these civilian targets.
You didn't want to kill civilians. The more you bail out, and you've been following their city, killing their children, men and women.
Especially in Germany.
Boy, they catch you on the ground, man. They kill you. You see what? You beg and pray. They both fearing of it. They beg and pray for the German army captain go to civilian. They kill you right there. Took a pitchfork to you. But clever you did.
Was this a big fear you had of spelling out over enemy territory? I know it wasn't anything pleasant.
Yeah. I guess more than anything, I'd hope I'd shoot it though. You jump out of that thing, boy. Now, you think it's not something, but you open that door there, and that wind is whistling by there, but you go and jump out. Just thinking about standing there waiting to jump and look down there. that chute wouldn't open. A lot of the chutes, they didn't open. A lot of them.
And what instructions were you given if you landed in, say, French territory as opposed to German?
Well, we were told to hide our parachutes, and we had escape and invasion of kiddos with a civilian picture made in civilian clothes, you know. And we would hide our chutes. We tried to escape across the road. It was French underground. They'd hide it. And Jim Hensley, he was a French underground for a long time.
What about if you built it over German territory? What did they tell you? Basically the same thing? Chances are, of course, less.
Just trying to get, if all possible, have the German army take you prisoner, take you to POW camp to a civilian.
Right.
And they killed a lot of our boys. They sure did.
Now, over Emden, in your mission in Emden, February 4th, 43, what, tell me something about that mission. Who were you flying with that day? I guess Morgan.
Yeah.
Okay. Adult air bombing attempts.
Yeah, well, those UAVs flew far over the top of us and dropped bombs on our formation. That was a big German FW-190 back there.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is where you had your injury.
Mm-hmm.
How did that happen?
I went and talked to his brother again. I took my gloves off for 2 minutes. Lifted the cover to clear my guns, and it was 60 below zero. My fingers froze. Just froze up. It was the time we got back to English Channel, it was real big. You know, they put us in ambulance. We had a lot of pressure back then. Toes, fingers, lots of it. And we got back to the base. These fingernails started turning blue. And they put us in ambulance, and we drove 65 miles that night in the whole cold round to Oxford to the hospital.
Let me stop and change this tape. Okay. So you went to Oxford to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
How long were you in the hospital?
6 weeks.
Okay. Of course, after that, you were back on the trail. I guess the next one was over Lorraine.
This took a long time for those. All that skin came off those fingers. They were the biggest tender they could be. Real tender. I have trouble with them now. Real cold, frosty morning. The snowy days, they don't seem to bother too much. But now, the frosty cold morning, it's real tingly.
I've already asked you to describe German fighter tactics. Anything you want to add to that?
No, but they were just real good, very aggressive.
Where did you describe? No, I got that later. What about rockets? Did you ever experience any rocket attacks? That came later, I guess.
I never did see the rocket.
But you did experience the aerial bombs, the 88s. 88. And the fighters coming in on it.
They'd always tack 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock.
Now that means straight overhead.
And
And then right in toward the nose.
right toward the nose, a little bit high. They come up out of the sun. If there's sunshine, they get in that sun. You couldn't see them. They come out of that sun right down.
Could you see the, for example, I know I've heard that they would pass you. Could you see them pass you to get ahead of you?
Yeah. They wave at you.
Really?
Yes, sir. Truth and wave at you.
How did you feel toward those pilots, those fighter pilots?
I'd like to meet some of them and talk to them.
It wasn't a personal thing at all, was it?
No.
Of course, it couldn't be. You didn't know.
Didn't know them. And we just know that they sure knew what they were doing up there. They can sure fly that airplane. But the main reason they fly head-on attack, you see, this top turret here, if it was down straight and level along here, you couldn't fire because we had a little thing in this mechanism up there. It would cut out the turret. The guns wouldn't fire because it would cut out to get these props here. So the pellet, same way that the ball turret, you would fire straight forward right. And cut out on this antenna here, and it's about 6 or 8 inches you prop there.
Mm-hmm.
But you could fire them down like this and straight back, no trouble enough.
Forever.
Yeah.
Which position did you prefer, top turret or ball turret?
I guess I like the ball because you could sit down in there and you could rest yourself. But this thing here, you'd have to stand up on them old steel steps there and stirrups, you know. And boy, your feet, the balls of your feet would get so tired. Even if you had big, thick socks on, GI shoes, and those big heavy boots, still you stand on that piece of metal there 6 or 7 hours. You bottom of your feet just get real tired. Your legs are tired.
What sort of clothing did you wear?
Most of it were long johns, underwear.
You mean the electric clothing?
Yeah, then we had our heated suit on, blue heated suit on over that, then our GI pants and shirt. And the top turret and the ball turret, we couldn't wear a big heavy flight jacket, just didn't have enough room to move up and down and get around. So we just used our little A2 jacket, flight jacket, A2. And our gloves. I tell you what stopped that frostbite was we got after that we got silk gloves from RAF. Little silk gloves. You put those silk gloves on and bring your fur glove. And no trouble. Then our flying helmet.
It was leather, wasn't
Yes. Now the pilots, navigators, bombardier, all the other boys, radio operator here, and tail gunner, waist gunner, they wear those big fur jackets. Because they had plenty of room there. The tail boy, gunner, he had plenty of room back
it? You know, his knees was.
there. Yeah, sit down on your knees. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Legs get real tired sitting on your knees like that. On that old cold metal back there. The coal. It was the coal. That was what was rough back there. This position here was open now. And these two waist positions open. And that wind blowing through there and it's 50 below zero. Until they put plexiglass up here. Plexiglass here. And they did that, boy. It made a big difference. Big difference.
What was your most exciting time in a turret? Can you recall? I use the word exciting. I don't try to sensationalize it.
I guess one time the German fighter came right up under us like that. And one of those 303 bullets went right through that round piece of plexiglass there in the front. And it came right up there and hit the sight there. Just went right by my ear there, hit the back of the turret there. And that bullet fell off of my lap, and I still got it. I was kind of excited about that.
Yeah, I can imagine. Is that the closest you ever came to being wounded?
Yeah.
Now, you have one confirmed kill. Can you just, if you don't mind?
A kill.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah, I got a picture back here. Did I show you that picture of the kill right?
Don't think so.
This is 535th Bomb Squadron. After I got my commission, I went to 381st Bomb Group.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, see, yeah. Now there's your.
Good fire.
Yeah, that rolls real easy. Family has a picture, another just a little small picture like that. When they blew that thing up that big, it'll all be there. There's that short smoke.
Mm-hmm. He just sent a friend to Emma.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I wonder whatever happened to short smoke. You ever see one of these? You won't have fun, it's better than mine.
What was the worst damage you ever received?
Right here. Big hole right here. Black.
Black. That's an illustration of the actual damage you had.
Yeah, man, there's a hole there, you can walk through it.
How often does that occur?
We got that one time and we got our horizontal stabilizer shot up. And we left them tied in quite a bit. Yeah, quite a bit of black in there.
Did you ever lose an engine?
No?
No.
No. There's no skin.
Yeah, the Lord was with you the whole way, wasn't you? Okay, about the kill mission. No, wait a minute. Disregard that. Memphis Belle. What was your relationship to the Belle? How long were you on it and so forth?
When I first got on it, we went to Walla Walla, Washington. Summer of 42.
And you flew over the,
Went over to
yeah.
England with, and started flying all these missions.
I'd say you were with them up through Linden, weren't you?
Yeah.
After that, you, I guess, went with them.
Then after I got my, I came out of the hospital, I got back, I flew the rest of it, and that whiskey was mixed up my nose to my finger stuff.
In which plane?
Memphis Belle.
Memphis Belle. Just a few that you weren't in the Belle.
15, I led them 15 trips.
Okay, the overkill, apparently you weren't, though. Because here you were, the Belle wasn't on that one.
Yeah.
She's from,
There's quite a few missions there. Let's see.
she's 485. They're not listed here.
Yeah, here's the number.
Yeah.
24485.
Yeah, and she's,
No.
so you can see the ones, she was Belle, 480, where is it? 485. Uh-huh. Here's another 485. Cutting. film was made. Were you on that mission that the film was made?
I was with them quite a few missions when they made a lot of those pictures. And some they'd go with us and some they wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I think the picture missions, he would go on.
Yeah. I don't blame you. So you saw the filming of the Memphis Belle?
Quite a bit, yeah.
And you knew all these men?
Oh, yeah.
Personally?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I knew them all real well. This over here, they went to Detroit with me. They landed up there this given home up in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
And they went to my uncle's house for the night. We made a lot of pictures of my uncle's house there in Detroit. I got a lot of pictures of my uncle.
This is on your way over?
Mm-hmm. He's from Yonkers, New York.
Mm-hmm.
And God.
It's Quinlan, right?
He was in Illinois. He went to work for the motor company after the war was over.
Mm-hmm.
He was an inspector up there. And he gave him 30 seconds to inspect the Ford truck. After he left the center line, he was ready to help. He had down his heart thing, so he went. And then they tell you he was Tucson.
And he was the waste gunner. He was the washing machine repairman, wasn't he? According to the film. I've watched the film before. I can't remember.
Morgan was nice. And they late navigated down the year. Crash on there. Coming in Los Angeles. Crash. Storm.
Hmm.
Still fast.
So, Morgan still, does he still live in Asheville?
Yeah, he was good. He used to own Morgan Manufacturing Company over there. They went out. So he was really
Okay. Can you remember what plane Lieutenant Ehlers was? Nickname or anything? You know, one thing I found common, the first plane you're on, you remember, but then when you transfer out, you know, at replacement crews and so forth, you just don't have the same attachment, do you?
Don't think much about it. Just fly on it, fly on that. Maybe keep up with it.
That's your mission to kill. It's unusually long, 9 hours.
I guess the thing I remember more about that mission than anything else was there was a bay out here. There was a town of Keel right here. And FW 190 factory there. And they let off smoke screens all down through the coast of that bay. And that smoke was going this way.
Mm-hmm.
You could look out and see that smoke moving out, smoke screen, and see the boats going out. A lot of boats. Man, they were just hightailing getting out of the way there.
This turbine engine plant that you hit at Kiel. So, what was that for? Do you know at the time?
For aircraft and Navy boats. Navy boats.
Of course, U-boats, I imagine. I'm just guessing. Since U-boats, that was your priority target at that time.
Yeah.
About the Kiel, your one confirmed. Tell me about that.
Coming in just like this.
Well, what position were you in?
I'm about to.
Okay.
He coming in. And Cleveland told me he's coming in at 6 o'clock time. He went right down under there like this. And I just turned my turret to the rear. And he was right up under there. So I poured it to him. Hit him.
FW-190, right?
He went down on the spin. Black smoke coming out of it.
Did you see his parachute?
Never did see a shoot, but he went straight on in the ground.
You could see from the ball turret what happened to
He
you.
wasn't having to, but he went all the way in the ground. He didn't explode out.
Yeah. And when you got back, I imagine you went through the debriefing.
They had the formation. We showed them where we were in the formation, where the fighter was, where they went down. The other crews would tell who was shooting, what they were shooting at. But there was we had a lot of fighters back there. The whole tail end of that fire, 91st Group, they really hit us. We lost 24. 24.
24.
Yeah. I don't know
From the
if they give them another one out that day. We had a lot of them. We had 4 wings out there.
Mm-hmm. That's 4 First Air Force, I guess. I mean, First Air Division.
Yeah.
What about the target? Do you remember?
Yeah, we hit the target real good. Yeah, we really hit that target good.
How long did the FB fighters stay with you?
Gosh, they stayed with us. That one bunch, they hit us, I bet you, 30 minutes. And after we bombed the target, listen, we hit the coast. Left the coast together and hit another bunch together. They really calmed us in. And they're all the way, almost back to Clark Cliff is over there. Boy, I was something through that. Like, we came right back to, right over Clark Cliff was over. It was good to see.
You stayed with the water most of the time, though, I imagine, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, we went on up North Sea over the water. Came in up north like this, came back down here. Straight out.
Then back out over the North Sea again.
Hey, when we get that North Sea, boy, when you get it hard.
What kind of flight did you have?
Good, heavy flat. Real good, very accurate. You could walk on it. It's thick out there. Clouds burst flat. Kind of float together.
Did you see any aircraft particularly go down that day?
Yeah, I saw 2 down below us. They gave it a base of action. And one on top of it. Came right down on top of it.
Both of them went down in collision. In your group?
Yeah. Full first, water.
What about shoots that day? Did you see any come out of there?
Yeah, quite a few shoots that day. But that's the story real good, man. Did you read all that?
No, I haven't yet. So I got the stuff from the Air Force. So that's the May 19th raid there. This is put out during the war, so I guess they had to keep the dates and so forth. Secret. Yeah. So that's about the time they'd be telling about it. Now after that, soon after that, you went over Bremen twice, and of course, you had 13 other missions after you were commissioned. Did you fly regularly after you were commissioned, or just when you wanted to? And you were at the Shrine. That was your last mission.
About 450 kilometers. About 300 fighters.
What do you remember most about Shrine?
Really hit the target. We climbed that ball bearing factory.
And what were you in the ball turret during that? Of course, you were in the lead squadron, weren't you? Target. And what were your duties after you were commissioned?
Teaching aero gunner. the new bomber crews coming over. We lost 60 airplanes over the prairie. They were flanking that day, 60 coming home.
And you left in August of 44, did you? Of all the missions you flew, which one do you remember the most?
This killed Ray and that thing was there. When they attacked two of their own flak to hit it. We very seldom, we never did think they'd come through their own flak coming up to fight them, make fighter tanks down, fighter tanks. They did that. They come right through it.
I guess it's memorable also because you got the confirmed kill.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine there are many others. I read accounts from other crews, but they didn't want to go through the hassle of the confirmation debriefing. Is that true?
Yeah, it was a long, drawn-out thing, and you were tired and scared. They wanted to know so much about who this fighter came from, who was shooting at him. Some other crew, everybody had to tell who was shooting at that fighter, so they could wonder if they really, then they'd send all that information the first day to be headquarters. They would go over all that information. It may be months so information coming back where you even got the fighter. They just didn't want to sit around there for an hour or two telling all the details about this. So you shot him down and next mission you go on, he's right back up there again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say we shot down 30 German fighters today, 20. You go on a mission back in the same area, there's them same damn 20 fighters back up there again.
Yeah.
So they get tired. They get tired.
That's why the debrief.
Yeah. So I guess they went into detail more about the flak and everything. You know, 88 guns. Yeah.
When you flew your 25th mission, how did you feel?
I know I was tickled to death to get back on that ground. I mean, I was scared.
Because that was from Schwein.
We lost half of the 91st group back there.
Yes.
Half of it. And I was just tickled to death. I was tickled all over too. He was there too. Really couldn't sleep that night. And those medics, there's all kinds of same old kind of whiskey. But that's called Old Food. Strong whiskey. I haven't tried to drink in my life.
They give it to you when you came back to calm you down.
Calm you down, give you all you want. But I'd take this, most of it, take a little sip. Couldn't do it, it's so strong. We go home, clean up, and 5 or 6 o'clock at night, we walk down to the local pub. That was my observation. He'd always still 10 o'clock. He's still 11 or 12. We'd all go back down, we'd go down there and drink mild bitter and get a stout. We had a lot of scotch. Drink a lot of scotch, drink a lot of gin. We wouldn't drink it all. We were too strong. We poured on the table. We'd take the bars off the table.
Off the table. And soon after, see, that was the October mission you went to Schwein, right? Mm-hmm.
One August, one in October.
And I guess October is the last one. Yeah.
They also hit Regensburg, you know, too.
Yeah, the May 3rd Air Division. Now, after you got out, what did you do the rest of your career? You were in 20 years, right?
Mm-hmm. I got out. I was on B-29s in Pueblo, Colorado.
Well, what was your job after the war?
I was teaching cavalry out on B-29s on called Rome. You know, B-29 crew. Then the war was over. They just did that and everything. I had 60 days leave, and I got discharged and came home to stay 60 days, and went back in the master's class. We left the Langland Field. I didn't say it a long lane, so I ran into a race. He was in personnel. Washington, you know, I ran into him up there in operation. Well, we went around, talk. I told him I wanted to be 29. Fascination.
Mm-hmm.
He just wrote my name, serial number and everything. I said, check my order and food fight. Go back to Knoxville. I said, yes, sir. He came back to Knoxville. I got on B-29 crew down there. That was in 46, 47. I went off to airplane engine mechanic school in Keith Steel. In the fall of 46, I finished in May of 47. And just got back to the first one said, Dean, you want to go to Merced, California with us? You know, activate the old 91st Bomb Group. And I said, Lord, at Merced, yeah, I'll go back to 91st. He said, go on, tell you what, get your stuff, ready to go. Get on. Went to Merced. I was crew chief out there on B-29.
Why?
About 2 years. And I got recalled active duty. And the war was out quick. And I went back to teaching gunnery. On B-29 crew, went to Okinawa, doing the Korean War. And after the Korean War, though, they didn't have much army gunners going on. I went back in aircraft maintenance. Another aircraft maintenance officer on 29.
Did you get your commission back?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was a letdown, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Go from commission back to enlisted for a while. Or...
A lot of them did.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Because you just to stay in.
Yes, yeah. They give us all matches, though. Everybody come with them. I know come back to match. Silence, never did. All of them. Yeah, and I got on B-50 and all kinds of big deal. We went to England July 50, came back to February 51. Went back on spring 52.
What were you carrying? Was this conventional weapons or did you?
Oh, it was A-bomb.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, A-bomb for that. He took off.
Still down that quickly with no reason.
They found out I always stayed on there. Came back then I went to Okinawa on B-29.
Were you flying?
Yeah.
Did you fly any missions over Korea?
Man, they came home on B-36. Cardinals, 11th bomb. Aircraft maintenance officer down there. 46th bomb, 11th bomb. Seven on B-36, and then we got through the 36, we got B-52s, and 1958, and out on B-52.
Maintenance officer.
And 10 B-52s on there.
That's a squadron. 52, yeah.
I got to stay on those, I got out on first March 62.
Oh, you've been out for a good long time, then, haven't you? How'd you retire as a major? That's something else. Well, I think that. Anything else you want to add?
No, now there's a date. Now we were in England